Hello and welcome to Losing the 50. I am Average Luck Gamer, and today we got some Zenless Zone Zero news to talk about, and lots of news it is. We're also joined by a special guest, which is Julian. Julian, do you want to say hi?
Hello, I'm Julian. My username is just GG at the end, and mostly just cover Zenless and Genshin for the most part, and react to all the videos.
Nice, cool. Glad to have you, man. And as per usual, regular co-hosts, Kete the Seventh and Shanaha are here. Kete, say hi.
Oh, what's up? It's 3 a.m. Let's do this shit.
I love it. I love that enthusiasm from you.
Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this.
Shanaha, say a hi.
What up, it me. I'm the Zenless Zone Zero news guy, as Gamer pointed out.
Oh, you saw that? Someone was like, "How do I keep up with all the Zenless news on my stream?" And I was like, "You should watch Shanaha. He every time he'll recap it for you." Okay, but in terms of the bigger Zenless Zone Zero news and what we'll be covering today, first things first is we're going to be talking about the drip marketing for Hugo and Vivian, and then after that, we'll talk a little bit about Anby 2, Electric Boogaloo, and Trigger. And that's pretty much going to be it for today. So let's get into it though, boys. Should we talk about, since Hugo just came out, Ice Attack Hugo, what are we thinking?
Him and Lycan, I mean, it's expected, but I can already tell the shipping. People are just gonna put them together just for the sake of oh my gosh, they're Mockingbird. It's like they're back together again.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that. Definitely. Since I saw the ice, I was like, oh, here we go.
But it did look like they weren't on the best terms in the trailer, guys. You know, there was a little bit of a fight going on.
It's fine. They're gonna kiss and make up or something. Or at least that's what some fan fiction's gonna say. I can tell already.
Yeah, it did seem a little bit. I was kind of hoping that we might not get Hugo this patch, just because I thought maybe he might be the antagonist for 1.6, you know, like the bad guy, and then maybe we get him in 1.7, and it would or you know, one in 2.0 or something, and he's like crazy good. But it makes sense to put the Mockingbird characters together. I thought we might get something unexpected, though. That's kind of what I was excited for. But Hugo seems cool. Ice Attack.
If not Hugo.
Yeah, if it was Ellen Jova before, it is Ellen Dunzo now.
No, we're not doing this, Gamer.
We're not doing what?
We're not doing this. Okay. So it
Don't
was
say the P word.
It was one or two podcasts ago. Gamer said clearly that we will not be getting another ice DPS before 2.0, and that if we did, that he would eat his hat. So I'm gonna need you to start eating your hat, and I need you to record it, and I need you to make it a YouTube short, make it a video.
I will stream myself eating a hat.
You were so confident, brother, that we were not getting another nice DPS before 2.0.
Hey,
I can see that though.
Yeah, why can't we have something new, guys? You know what I'm saying? Why are we doing this? Why are we in this position?
Like a new combination.
Yeah, we have Ice Attack. Ice Attack was our 1.0 agent, so kind of made sense when we got another Ice DPS with Miyabi, she's a crit scaling fucking attack character. I don't care that it says anomaly.
She's basically an attacker.
Yeah.
Anomaly.
Yeah.
But
anomaly, but you know. And then we get Hugo. God. I would like to see something different. I mean, I'm sure Hugo's going to play differently. I'm not, dooming about Hugo being too similar to previous characters. I'm just so surprised that we got another Ice Attack character.
Yeah, they're going to keep us in suspense for a good while in terms of a new combination. They're going to keep it fresh for a later time, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and it feels a little odd that we basically have 3 Ice Attack characters before we even have a single Ice defense. You know what I'm saying?
Or just any defense, in general.
Ooh, defense.
Aside from Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also Defender asterisk. Basically a support / stunner.
True. So how are we feeling about Hugo? Do we saw the drip?
Yeah, I was going to ask, actually, do you ever think that we'll have a villain type character that remains a villain, but's also playable? Because you were talking about how you thought he might have been the actual nemesis, but yeah, I wonder if they'll ever actually have a villain that's still a villain but be playable. You know,
I don't think they Because I don't think there's a single character from Genshin Star Rail or ZZZ now in the past few years that has started a villain and stayed a villain the whole time that became playable. I don't think so. I can't think of one right now. Genuinely, like
Senora never became playable.
yeah, she never became playable. She died. Arlecchino.
Spoilers! Wow.
Spoilers for something that happened 2.5 years
Signora,
ago.
yeah. Senora never died. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's
I
still
didn't
good,
say
right?
that. She's alive, guys.
She'll come back. Then she'll be on our side, and then
Yeah.
we'll get a playable Senora.
Yeah.
I guess all like the
Kobe.
friendship events and stuff like that kind of make it impossible, I suppose. But it was kind of just a thought. But yeah, I guess that's probably not going to be the case for him.
I mean, according to the lore, we're not even sure if Hugo is going to be a villain. We aren't sure what Mockingbird's motives are, or whatever.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, true. So how do we see Vivian and Hugo? They kind of been doing this thing. Vivian. All right. Okay. I'm not even going to edit that out. How do we see Vivian and Hugo working together? So obviously Vivian being the ether anomaly, do we think that there's going to be some kind of synergy between her and Hugo or nah?
I mean, if she's an off-fielder, I feel like as an off-fielder, she can sort of synergize with everyone, I suppose.
Yeah.
I was way off, and Kete was saying like, "Oh, he's gonna be ice. He's gonna be ice." I was like, "No, it's gonna be ether because he'll work with Vivian somehow." And then he was ice. So it's like, ooh, I don't know. I guess she could still just. Yeah, the set that she has is buffing ether damage for people who don't have the set on her. So yeah, I don't really know how she could help him out. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they've done it in the past where certain elements can buff different other elements. So, with lighter buffing fire and ice, for example. But
Oh, that's right.
yeah, I wonder if maybe she might be, an ether anomaly off field and she wants ice in some way to do more damage, or she buffs ice in some way, or she lowers resistance for ice in something like that. I could see that happening, but I could also see that she just straight up that these two characters just straight up you're meant to run them on different teams. They're not necessarily meant to be run on the same team. To be honest, I think as a player, like as a like a low spend player, that's kind of good because it means that you don't have to pull these back-to-back characters. But I feel like they're probably gonna make up for it through the reruns because I imagine what will happen is that we'll get Vivian, but then we'll also get a character rerunning who's going to work really, really well with Vivian, like an on-field anomaly agent. Oh, isn't it weird that we saw Jane a bunch in the trailer? Interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, we get an on-field anomaly agent running with Vivian, and then maybe with Hugo, we get lighter rerun or something like buffing that ice damage.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I would be shocked if Lighter doesn't rerun with Hugo.
Yeah. To be fair, though,
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily have to run directly with Hugo. They could rerun him in the following patch, because then while Hugo is on banner, we'll find out that he's rerunning in the next patch, and then people will be like, oh, maybe I should get Hugo because Lighter's coming back,
Oh yeah, the lighter stonks are going up.
I mean, Lighter stonks have gone up ever since he came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Continuously gone up.
Yeah, we keep getting, because we got, following Lighter's release, we got Miyabi. Yeah, and then following that, we got Evelyn. I think for most players who didn't want to run him with Ellen or Soldier 11, not pulling Lighter at the time, sorry, Kate, was probably the right call. But considering...
Sorry, I agree with you.
Yeah, but considering, like, now most players have either one of, at the very least, Miyabi or Evelyn, I think on his rerun, he might be one of the most pulled characters from, like, a meta perspective.
Yeah, as long as they don't like drop another one that's like, well, I guess because he has a boat,
Lighter too.
right? Yeah, also don't drop lighter too. But I think if they drop another, doesn't have to be a stunner, but just somebody who buffs one of the elements, it's probably gonna buff the element further than lighter would, because it's only one. You know.
Like focusing on just the one as opposed to like 50-50.
So
Yeah.
So I talked to Jay Stern about that, and no, while that could happen, we don't think that it will, because if you look at Lighter's buffs, considering what I'm considering right now is M0 with signature, for all S ranks, there's no character in the game that buffs fire or ice damage more than Lighter does. If we're considering M0 with their signature engine, there's not even Astra herself buffs fire or ice damage as much as Lighter does. So I just don't see them making another, because like you said, if they make another support that just buffs ice damage more than Lighter, well, Lighter already buffs the fuck out of ice. So
Yeah.
why would they make someone again that's even more niche than Lighter that only buffs ice? It just sounds weird right now. We don't need that. That's why I don't see them making someone better than Lighter for at least until next year. I do agree that Lighter probably won't always be the best, but because he's so niche right now, I do think he'll last longer than most supports. Because that kind of what allows him to buff so much is because he's niche.
Yeah, I hope he does last for a while.
Yeah, I do agree, but like we should also take everything Kete says with a pinch of salt because his PFP is lighter.
Hey, that's okay. You can go watch. I can literally leave like 3 other, because if people think that my opinion is too biased, I can just leave 3 or 4 other content creators saying the exact same thing.
No, the thing is that you literally have every content creator here, unless Shanaha's going to speak up and say that he doesn't agree. But I think we all agree.
Well, actually, no, I'm joking.
I think we're all in agreement that, yeah, it would be crazy for them to do something like that, especially considering that other elements haven't got that same treatment as of yet. So, yeah. And I feel like following Lighter's release, it's kind of like we said earlier, like maybe not pulling him at the time was the right call, but then following his release, we get banger ice character, banger fire character. So I think that we kind of want something similar to Lighter for the other elements first before we start, getting another support that buffs fire or ice damage more than Lighter.
Yeah, because I literally said on his first banner he was the perfect rerun character. Now I love to like make fun of like people who are like now saying, "Oh my gosh, should have got Lighter on his first banner. Should have got Lighter. Should have got Lighter."
Yeah.
But like, be quite honest, like as much as I love the character, like he was for the vast majority of players the perfect rerun character at the time because he was only helping out Soldier 11 and Ellen. It was meh unless you're like,
at the time.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so he was definitely nowhere near a priority on his first banner, but by the time he comes back, there is definitely a lot of people who actually are interested in him now, and for good reason. So again, I do agree that he was the perfect rerun character on his first banner.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes to like the way that Hoyoverse has organized these banners and characters and stuff is that it does feel kind of like we're waiting with bated breath to find out when Lighter's coming back at this point. Because yeah, he's going to be one. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if his rerun does better than his like initial run.
I wouldn't be shocked either.
Yeah, I guess we.
I like how they.
know, but yeah,
I was gonna say I like how they actually ended up dripping Evelyn at the last day of Lighter's actual banner.
Oh,
It was
did
like,
they?
Hey guys, there you go.
I kind of forgot about that.
Use your DPS.
Oh, yeah. You just reminded me because my friend Flamma, y'all should go check him out. He's a great theory crafter for ZZZ. I remember he told me, he was like, "Bro, I got him just in time." He sent me a screenshot.
Oh my god.
The banner said 5 minutes left.
Oh my god, cutting it
Like,
close.
bro, God damn, bro. Like, did you see the Evelyn? Did you see the Evelyn drip market? He fucking rushed to his ZZZ.
That's funny.
Like, I'm not
That's
missing
crazy.
Okay. Enough of the Lighter propaganda, though. Let's talk about Anomaly. So we
Heck yeah.
we started with Hugo. And then we kind of transitioned into a little bit of talking about Vivian, but I think we need to give Vivian a little bit of time in the spotlight. So, considering her drive disk set that's clearly kind of designed for her is going to involve someone else EX specialing in order to get an ether damage bonus, do we think it's pretty safe to assume that she's off field or at the very least quick swap DPS?
One of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would kind of like. I don't know if I want to put her in that Bernice sort of category where she's like that team connector. But yeah, the X special attack thing really is interesting to me. I don't know how that's gonna, or like the fact that it's if you have the set on or not.
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of interesting because you'll want to switch to another character in EX special and then use her. I imagine, like the way that I think about it in my head is that I am kind of thinking about her like Bernice. She comes on, she does her thing, and then she leaves. But I think that I would kind of prefer it if she was more quick swap DPS style and she had a little bit more field time, and then you maybe had to balance that field time between her and, say, Miyabi or something if you wanted to run her on Miyabi team, or Yanagi if you wanted to run her with Yanagi, or maybe like because she's like a quick swap DPS, you could run her with Bernice. Because at least Vivian would want a little bit of field time. That's what I kind of hope happens. But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong.
I am tempted to agree with you because so let me just read I've got the disc set up right now. And so the 4-piece set is when any squad member uses an EX special, the equipper's anomaly proficiency increases by 45 for 8 seconds. Cool. But if the character using the EX special is not the equipper, then the equipper's ether damage is increased by 25%. Now, interestingly enough, it doesn't mention any length or duration, so I'm assuming that ether damage is also the same 8-second long duration. But if we're doing the whole Bernice versus Vivian comparison, Bernice's one is interesting because her little effect and stuff like that, if I remember correctly, it lingers once you switch back to her for a few seconds. So with this one for Vivian, there's no such thing. It's 8 seconds, you get the buff, and then it's gone. You would have to reapply it. So I think you are right in that she probably is going to be quick swappable because that buff won't persist. Like the Chaos Jazz one, the off-field damage increase, that's just permanent.
Yeah.
And then it's until you switch back in. This one here, it's a lot more active. You have to actually switch around, use the skill, come back in, and I'm assuming that whatever damage that Vivian does, however she does her anomaly application, you're gonna have to use her skill. So she's gonna have to switch in. I don't think it'll be like Bernice where you just tag them once and then you just forget about her until you have to reapply it.
Yeah. I kind of agree based on the reading of the disc, but there is a part of me that thinks that she might be really, really good. How do I say this? She might be so good that they kind of need to nerf her with her disc set, and they can't let it persist after she goes off field, and she could therefore still work like Bernice does. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, or is my brain not braining right now?
No,
they have to make it so that they have to make it so that she's not like Bernice to make her on par with Bernice.
Yeah,
if she maybe functioned like her, then it'd be broken.
Maybe, or maybe she does function like Bernice, but the way that her drive disc works means that they can't let that buff persist when she goes off field because they're concerned about how good it could be.
Yeah,
potentially.
I'm thinking, what about the ether damage part? You think that's going to be? You think Vivian will have some good personal damage to her?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be a very good person.
I think ether's
just from the anomalies that she can trigger will that'll also just chunk up the anomaly damage from ether and then the disorder damage as well if you get that off.
Yeah, I mean,
that's right. Yeah, corrupted.
Yeah. Because we don't have anyone who applies ether anomaly. I mean, we do have ether agents that can apply anomaly. We have Nicole, we have Juliangg, but because we don't have an anomaly ether agent yet, I honestly think I said this on stream the other day. She could be Grace. She could be Grace. And she'd still be pretty good because the ether anomaly is just really, really good. Because it hits more times than shock, but it does roughly the same damage over time as shock.
It's the exact same. Shock has 10 ticks of damage for like 125, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas Corruption has half the amount of damage, but double the amount of ticks. So
Double the amount of ticks.
at the end of the day,
yeah.
Well, that sounds good.
But yeah, considering that she would be just applying that ether anomaly, and she's a limited S rank, I don't know. Like she'll probably be better than Grace, which means that we will have someone who can apply ether anomaly. Who's an actual anomaly character, so it'll build it up faster than in theory. Even if you built AM Nicole, it would build it up a lot faster, and therefore she's gonna be good no matter what.
Yeah. Like, remember, at the end of the day, it's a brand new S rank limited character. Of course, they're gonna be good.
Yeah. See, the thing is, though, is that as we go deeper into Zenless, I'm kind of excited for the idea that we get more and more niche characters. Kind of like I know we talked about it a bunch earlier, but kind of like Lighter, where they buff like a particular thing really, really well, and it's very unlikely that we get a better thing to buff than that. So, like with the fire and ice damage that Lighter buffs, it's very unlikely we just talked about that. It's very unlikely we get someone who buffs ice more, for example, for a little while at least. So as we get deeper and deeper into the game, yeah, she's going to be good, I think, but I am kind of hopeful that we get characters that only work in specific teams and stuff. Maybe that's the wrong thing to wish for, but it kind of just means that then we'll have more team building options for like niche teams, as opposed to, well, everyone's kind of good with everyone. Just chuck two anomalies characters together. Yeah, chuck two anomaly characters together and a support, and you're done. Or chuck an attack and a stun and a support, and you're done. It'd be kind of nice to have like you chuck an attack and a stun and a support, but like, in Lighter's situation, you don't want to put him with anyone who's not like a fire or ice damage dealer, So it'd be nice to have that kind of development as we go deeper into the game.
Yeah, I agree big on that one, because that just makes it so you can play what you want to play.
Yeah.
You can end up picking the team that you want to invest heavily into, and if like Anomaly is your thing, you're gonna have that option, and you're gonna be able to go different places depending on what comes out at the time.
Yeah, I guess the problem with that is that if we could end up in a position where like your favorite character runs back to back with the niche support that you want, and you just don't have enough polychrome to get them both. And considering what we've had so far in Zenless, I could see that being an issue as we go deeper. Sorry, Kete, were you going to say something?
The thing is, though, I don't see Vivian being niche. I see her being extremely fucking flexible.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think that's kind of what I'm saying is that, like, yeah, I agree. But just using it as a talking point to be like, hey, at some point, these characters are probably going to stop being really good in like every team.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. How flexible do you see her being?
Yeah, I see Hugo being the one that's a little bit restricted on his teams potentially, but I see Vivian being the complete opposite. She's just gonna be one of the anomaly queens, in my opinion. I just don't see Vivian not being extremely flexible for so many different anomaly teams.
I mean,
Anomaly is too good.
That's like the curse, right? Like, you're an anomaly agent, and anomalies always want to have like options because you want to trigger disorders, right? So literally her and any other anomaly agent to trigger disorders, and then the fact that she's an off-fielder as well, which makes it like easy to slot her around. It's like, yeah, I'm agreeing with Keta 100% here.
I mean, what if she's bad though?
Don't you even dare.
Yeah, just
don't you put that evil.
She's a bad bitch, all right, but she's not bad.
What's that umbrella gonna do? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean,
shoot with the umbrella.
Yeah, what if she's like really limited in terms of team building? Because we haven't really talked about this yet. But for example, when you run Lighter with Miyabi, you have to run Lucy, I think, to get to get everyone to be happy with their additional abilities. And for both Miyabi and Lighter, you want both of their additional abilities active. So I guess do we think that maybe they might like if Vivian, ether anomaly, we're all kind of saying like, well, yeah, probably going to be very good. What if her additional ability is quite restrictive though, so that she can only be run with, let's say she doesn't have other anomaly agents. Let's say she wants to be run with, I don't know, let's make it really weird, like a stun and another mockingbird or another mockingbird agent.
Yeah, another mockingbird. That'd be. Oof.
Yeah, that would suck,
Very
probably,
specific.
because then she wouldn't be as flexible to go in other anomaly agents. And yeah, I said stun just because I think it would be weird.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to kind of like pigeonhole certain characters and certain themes. Yeah, like make the additional ability important, but make it so it doesn't work with everybody too often.
I guess the problem is that Hoyoverse wants to make everyone really good because they want to sell you the character.
Yeah, I do 100% agree that like that is a really good way to like manage her, but there's no shot they do it because I mean, especially if you look at now Anby or if you look at Evelyn and Astra, the whole team thing has gotten less and less important. Like it always used to be team member or element. Now it's like stun support, anomaly support, right? They've been starting to get a lot more lax with the team requirements.
Yeah,
I think that's a good thing for players, but I'm just putting it out there. If they wanted her to be a really, really good character, but they wanted you to have to pull specific other characters, that might be a way that they could do it.
just have her kind of fit in any slot almost.
Mm-hmm.
But I do wonder if like G-Wen and Vivian. Like I wonder if that's gonna be some kind of maybe though.
What if she buffs ether damage?
Oh, that's right. That's what I kept thinking with the set, but then I was reading it wrong. But yeah, if she does buff ether damage, then shoot, there you go. You might have another mono ether team.
I mean, Kete, you haven't said much about Vivian. Talk to us.
There's not much to say without pretending I'm Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. who had a dream. So, yeah, I like her character. Oh, I do want to say one thing about Vivian.
Voice.
So the trailer for 1.6 on the live stream, right? The English, Korean, and Chinese were all different in terms of voice actor for the drip market that they did officially for Vivian. The only one that was the same, that wasn't different, was JP. So it's like, what's going on with her voice actor? Why are there inconsistencies with the voices? What's going on?
As in the voice in the trailer versus the voice in the reveal were different, or
yes.
Oh. That is true. And take this with a pinch of salt as well, because this is just what I was told when I was on stream. But I think Anby's voice actress confirmed that it was Anby who was doing that talking part when it looked like Vivian was talking. So it wasn't actually meant to be Vivian. But I could see there being like a character thing, just like as a side note, I could see there being like a character thing where she's got like two sides to her, like kind of like like a Jekyll and Hyde situation where she's got one side that's, that more sultry mummy voice. And then the other side, which is the elegant and what's the word? Sophisticated voice. Yeah.
but like what just throws a wrench in it all is the JP was the same.
Yeah.
For both. Like why was JP the same? Like what happened there?
Well, unless JP, they just used the same voice actress for two parts.
Yeah, that is weird because I was thinking the same thing of like the dual personality kind of thing, because I did not expect her to sound like the way she sounded in the drip market.
Yeah.
To be fair, when I opened the drip marketing,
what?
yeah, because I felt like I'd heard her voice in the original, in that trailer. But yeah, she yeah. I wasn't ready for it. I was very surprised.
Oh, dude, I crashed out on my video.
Yeah, I saw.
I saw. Because I was trying to think, why would Belle be so scared of her? Like, if you saw that one part, Belle's like hiding behind Wise,
Oh yeah.
and if she has that like super soft, squeaky voice, I'm like, no, I don't know, because I feel like maybe she does have just like that dual personality going.
I guess we'll find out. I'm kind of excited for the story of
Same.
1.6, yeah, because the O-Ball squad does look kind of cool. Like the Soldier Zero, Soldier 11 thing is going to be kind of interesting. And then, we're going to get to find out a lot more about Mockingbird. It does
And
look
Trigger.
pretty hype. And Trigger, yeah, and Trigger.
That's actually like a big thing that I'm surprised not a lot of people are making a big fuss about. We're getting 3 stories, 2 agent stories, and then the Mockingbird story.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
the
Lord Chads are gonna
season
eat good.
epilogue. I'm really excited for that.
Did y'all notice with Trigger, because she has the mask, the way she expresses her emotion is her mask will light up a color, and whatever color her mask
Yeah, I
lights
did
up, that's her emotion.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually pretty
Daft
cool.
Punk style.
And I think there was like that might have been like a fan art, but it was like a face on her visor. But yeah, the lights are actually a really nice touch.
I have to say, though, because I can't see her face, I'm kind of not feeling Trigger, I have to say.
Really? Oh, you just mean like the design?
Yeah, I mean, she looks like a Nikkei character. Let's not.
I mean,
Yeah, there
with
is
the fact that they're putting a Nikkei mode in with her, yeah.
She is a Nikkei character. Why are we saying she looks like when she is?
She is a Nikkei character. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but yeah, there's definitely someone that's like a carbon copy.
Yeah, I'm not feeling her design that much, I have to say. I think before we saw too much of Trigger, and maybe I saw a few jiggle gifs. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, Trigger. But now we've seen more of her in game and stuff. I'm not feeling it.
I guarantee you, come agent story, game is gonna be like, actually no, I love her. She's great. It's fine.
We already know.
180.
I mean, Hoyoverse are very good at that.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
they
I was
sell.
like kind of the other way around. When I
the
saw
other way around.
Yeah, when I saw the drip market, I said in like a video, I was like, it kind of gives me like an NPC kind of vibe. And then the comments were like, no, we're not doing this again. And then, yeah, later on, I was like, I started to like it a little bit more the more I saw her. But at first, I definitely just, I don't know, it seemed like a NPC kind of vibe to it at first.
Mm.
It's okay. I'll just show you all the true power of my wife when she comes out.
I'll stun the 7th. Strikes again. So you're gonna M6 Pulchra as well? Stun the 7th?
The only reason she's gonna be on my account is because she's being given for free. She'll always be level 1.
But
What?
you're a stun. But you're the stun guy. What is this?
No. Because the true confession is, it just so happens that my 2 favorite characters in the game are stun agents, but I'm not a stun enthusiast. It just was a coincidence.
Hmm.
You're not feeling the poker?
Can we talk about anything but her, please?
Oh,
I actually think Pulchra's pretty chill.
I like her. I like her gameplay. It just her design doesn't. It's not my type. But I'm not making fun of anyone who likes Pulchra. Like, everybody has different tastes. Like Julian, for example, I really love Trigger's design. Julian said he didn't like it at first. Hey, that's nothing wrong with that, right? Everybody has their taste, right? Pulchra is not my cup of tea, but in terms of her gameplay, I actually think it's pretty cool. I think I would only ever consider using her if she was M6 from the showcases I was shown so far. But if she's not M6, I'm not even gonna consider building her.
I said that in my early access video. Is that it kind of sucks a little bit. Is that if you're pulling Anby Silver Soldier, you get her M6, which means that she's quite good in a whole bunch of different teams. But at M0, she's really only kind of good with Anby Silver Soldier because she buffs aftershock damage.
Aftershock
Or
specifically.
at M6 she buffs all damage.
All damage.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of the A rank characters have this break point where they become pretty useful in a whole bunch of teams, like Lucy's M2, because then you get her buff from the chain attack, stuff like that. It just kind of sucks a little bit that Pulchra's is her M6 in terms of that break point of being like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll need that M6. We'll get one for free. 5 more to go.
I want to say in theory, oh, she's an A rank. It'll be easy to get her M6. But I mean, yeah, we will.
Yeah,
I don't want to
get
put
unlucky.
that jinx on anybody.
If you get unlucky,
bro.
I mean, I think though, as we don't have that many, I think most players, day one players, will get her at M6 eventually, even if they're not pulling for Anby Silver Soldier. But that's probably like 3-4 months from now. Sorry, Kete, I cut you off there.
No, you're good, bro. It made me remember the time that people were always saying, well, ZZZ doesn't have many A ranks, so like going for A ranks on this game is not that bad. And I would never forget that time. A guy on my server, he really, really fucking wanted M6 Lucy for his Piper team.
Totally.
Right? This was months ago.
Yeah.
And it was Lucy Nicole on the Bernice banner. You remember?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He pulled 15 Nicoles and 1 Lucy.
Yep. Oh,
and I'm just like, dude, it's such a trap when people say, "Oh, there's only 2 A ranks. Just go for it, bro. There's no way you can lose." Like, it's such a trap, bro.
yeah.
It's such a trap.
There's guarantee for S ranks. There's no guarantee for A ranks.
Not a guarantee. I understand the chances are more in your favor, but it's still like you better have the extra wishes to justify it, because A ranks not being guaranteed, you can literally like end up getting an S rank that you did not want, or ruin your pity because A ranks are easier to get. Like, I feel like it's such a trap, bro.
Yeah, because if you end up pulling, let's say you didn't want Anby Silver Soldier or Bernice, and that's where Pulchra's running, and you ended up pulling one of them by accident, you'd probably be pretty pissed about that.
Yeah.
Be careful when building pity. I would say when building pity, if you are building pity, and you build it up to around 30 pulls, no one's going to be upset if you get an S rank, even if you didn't want it in those 30 pulls. But then any more after that, I would probably just stop.
Or better yet, just don't build pity. You have your pity built when you have the rolls saved in the top right corner. The moment you spend those pulls, that is it. That's it. Like, that's not pity anymore. That's just it going down the drain.
Yeah, when I say build pity, I mean pull for A rank. So if you're pulling for A rank, just stop after 30 pulls. It's not, because then you're just running the risk of getting something you don't want. Whereas if you pull an S rank within 30 pulls, you can be like, oh, that was super early. That's fine. Whereas if you get it around 40, 50 pulls, you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I've just wasted those 40, 50 pulls on a character that I didn't even want.
For me personally, it's actually very close to 30. I stop at 21 pulls. Because that's when you have 69 left on pity, and I like keeping that number there.
That's so funny.
Based.
I have like M60 Ben. For me, it's always Ben. Every time. Ben doesn't even have to be on the banner, and I get Ben.
So I'm guessing you're
Ben's
pulling for
always there.
I'm guessing you're pulling for Anby then, because he's on Anby's banner.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's sure.
Bro, that reminds me of Piper when the game first came out. Like, I was pulling Ellen's banner. It was Sokaku Anton. And somehow I ended up with a higher Mindscape Piper than I did Anton. And I was like, what the fuck?
Okay.
I got Anton and Ben for me.
Oh, yeah, to be fair, I remember getting M6 Anton because he was on Ellen's banner. And I lost my 50 to Ellen. Which means I still don't have Ellen because I then decided to wait for Juliangg. But I had more than M6 Anton by the time I lost that 50. So yeah, I can't remember who else was on the banner, but I didn't get a single fucking copy.
At least they're in the store like fairly quickly, like newer A ranks.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
good.
That's true. I guess the question that we'll move on to though. We can circle back around to the newer characters and the banners and stuff, but how are we feeling about I mean, we know how Kete feels about Trigger, but about Anby too, and Trigger as well. What about the rest of us? Are we pulling? Are we not?
Oh yeah, I'm pulling all the agents in 1.6.
Oh, okay. What? Why?
So for Anby, I don't know if she's gonna be like the best top DPS, but it's just the fact that there's this whole aftershock gimmick that it sounds really interesting. So obviously right now it's just Anby, Trigger, and Pulchra, but I'm assuming at some point later down the line there's gonna be more aftershock characters, and Anby buffs aftershock, so she might be pretty useful for those as well.
Yeah, she could end up being more useful than she is currently.
It's coming back to it. It's like lighter again.
Yeah. But what I was about to say is that I feel like from what I've seen and I have to be for
You can say it. She's weak. She's bad.
Yeah.
Do it. Gamer, say it.
Don't do it.
Sorry, I still have a cough. I'm recovering. If she's when we got Evelyn in the game, we had Evelyn's best team. Evelyn's team felt complete. Astra came out just beforehand, and we had a really good fire buffing stun agent in Lighter. So when Evelyn came out and she hit the game, she felt complete. Whereas because we're getting Anby before Trigger, and
Yeah.
she's the very first agent that's using this aftershock dynamic, this aftershock ability, I think that she's probably just gonna feel a little. It's okay for her to feel a little bit weak, is what I'm saying. But it does kind of mean, kind of like the Lighter situation, is that she might be a better character to pull when she comes back if we get more aftershock stuff in the future. If Hugo has aftershock stuff built into his kit as an attack character, maybe. Well, actually, you're probably not going to run double DPS, but maybe you will. I don't know. But yeah, if we get other characters who also have that aftershock thing built in, and I believe Anby buffs aftershock like herself. She actually does that.
Yep.
So she buffs it for everyone else. So she might be a better character to pull at some point in the future. But from where she is right now as an electric DPS, I think she's better than Haramasa, but she's not at that like Evelyn and Miyabi level. So, and that's fine because her team doesn't feel complete yet.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of those concerns already. I'm just like, since she'll be out before Trigger, she won't have like her complete team. And I think it was like Caesar and Astra was what people were trying. I said that was really good. But yeah, the whole aftershock thing is really interesting. And I'll be honest, I think I'm going to be trying to pull for Pulchra. And if Anby wants to come home, that's fine with me. But I'll definitely want to get the whole aftershock sort of package they got going on.
Okay, fair. Kete, I know you're pulling for Trigger, but how are you feeling about Anby 2?
I really like Anby, like from a design point, from a lore point, just as a character, she's one of my favorites. But I just, I'm sorry, I just can't get her. Like I got other priorities, got way too many other priorities. One of my most hated things in gacha games is actually building characters. I actually cannot stand having a large roster. I know it sounds weird, but I'd much rather have a smaller roster that is vertically invested than a very large roster that is horizontally invested. Farming for like skills, core skills, drive disc, it makes me actually just not want to play the game. So the less I have to do that, and the more I can just focus on the story and the actual gameplay, the better.
Okay, so you're saying you're just going to wail on Trigger, and that'll make you happy.
Yes. But we've already known this.
Yeah, we
now.
did.
Yeah.
Can't deny the Trigger.
Yeah, I guess this does bring up the question though. So we're moving on to Mockingbird after Obol Squad. Do we think that we're getting more Obol Squad? Because we have, we're going to have Trigger, we're going to have Anby 2, we're going to have Soldier 11. Do we think that we might see more?
for sure.
Isn't
Yeah.
Anby technically not Obel? Isn't she technically Silver Squad?
Yeah, well, you know,
Or,
like,
I did see
is it
the-
the same thing?
I saw
Is
like
Silver
the
Squad the
live
same
stream
thing?
that said
I guess
silver or
technically
something.
speaking, yeah. Like the what is it? Like wait, no, hang on. I know the lore reason behind this. Obol Squad and like Silver Squad are both under like the military, the new area do like defense force military thing. So they're both technically speaking under that branch, but in terms of the individual squads, Obol and Silver Squad are different, but they're still part of like the defense force.
right.
Oh, I see.
New Eridu Defense Force. That's it. The NEDF. Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have NEPs, then you have NEDs.
Okay, so then we only have
Ned.
2 Obol Squad members. So, do we
yeah,
think we see
Trigger
more?
and Soldier.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
we'll
sure
see
we
more.
will. Because I mean,
Yeah.
in the trailer video, or not the trailer, the live stream teaser, it was very offhandedly mentioned. But I think like little Bangbu asked like Trigger, "Oh, can you tell us more about the rest of your squad?" And then Trigger was replying like, "Oh, I can't tell you about the rest of the squad at this moment." Which maybe it's just a throwaway line, but maybe it's also like a hint saying like, keep your eyes
I think-
keep your eyes peeled. Or your ears
Right
as
after
well.
that too, she actually said, "I can tell you that Soldier 11 is our most recent member," but she didn't mention the
Ah.
other ones. So there's got to be like Soldier 1, 2, 3, or somebody in between.
yeah.
I hope so.
That's fair.
Hmm.
I think they've hinted that there's probably going to be another Stars of Lyra character at some point as well, because we keep hearing mentions of Monica.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think that they'll loop back around to some of these factions that don't have like maybe 3 or 4 is what they're aiming for, and yeah, it feels like we'll probably loop back around to them eventually, which is cool. I'm fine with that. I guess it's also going to be the same for Mockingbird because we're going to get Vivian and Hugo in the next patch 1.7, and then again, I imagine maybe we move on to something else and then we loop around to add a third in at some point.
Dude, all I want
Yeah,
from Mockingbird though is I'm waiting for that Bangbu.
True.
Oh, the one who was
The
in
one that had the mask.
He was in. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because Vivian put him into the competition. Well, yeah, if
Yep.
I remember correctly.
Oh, Robin, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name.
Robin.
I'm waiting for the Starlight Knights faction.
True. give me S rank Billy.
Yeah,
please.
Billy too.
Yeah.
Let's go.
They
But
could
I
do
wanted,
it.
I wanted to quickly talk about some. Julian, just really quick. Status on the game. Free to play. Low spender. What are you, brother?
Low spender.
Okay, Shanaha, what are
little-
you? Are you like a dolphin? Low spender?
Very low spender. I only buy the
Okay.
internet membership every other month.
And then I know Gamer is Mr. Relatable himself. So I'm actually want to ask you
Oh.
three this question since you guys are even like you guys are way more relatable than I am. For example, I've been getting recently a lot of questions, like people asking me for the last couple of weeks, and it got even worse today. And I'm not saying like there's anything bad. Like people asking me for help, I'll gladly try to help them. But like I'm starting to like run into a roadblock. How to suggest, because there's a lot of new players who have never played gacha games before. Zenless Zone Zero is the first ever gacha game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, I'll give you an example, right? One guy was asking me in my server, I don't have a fire DPS outside of Soldier 11. Should I go for Evelyn? I do have a lighter. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. But then he was saying, well, I like this character and I like this character and yada yada yada. And then now the situation's even worse now because oh wow, Vivian looks good, but they're free to play. It's like how do we manage all these pools and make sure we get the right characters? And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like at some point you gotta pull at some
Hone in
point.
on
You can't save forever, right? Like even if you're free to play, you can't save forever. I mean, technically, I guess you can, but I don't know. I think he feels really scared to waste his free to play currency. And how would you guys, who are much more relatable than me, go about suggesting to someone like that? Because I feel like there's a lot of players who are just like that guy who are scared to waste their pools and want to get what's fun for them, but also feel like they're not wasting their free to play currency?
For me, it's always waifu over meta. So here's the thing, right? For that guy, I would be like, well, yeah, you have Lighter, but do you like Evelyn? Do you like one of the other characters that are coming up first more? Because if you're new to the game at this point, maybe you don't have Miyabi or something. You joined, 1.5, something like that. From the characters you get for free, Billy, Anby, Nicole, you also get Sukaku. You also will get Haramasa up until the end of 1.6. You still get Haramasa right now. And you get a bunch of standard pulls for free that you can just send. You probably have enough value on your account to clear the content right now, like to clear the end game content right now, and get all of the rewards if you built all of those characters. So the question it's not like, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that. No. You just aren't investing into the teams that you have correctly if you're playing for meta. Because if you're playing for meta, you don't need to pull anyone. You have what you need. You have what you need. So just pull the waifus you like and then build teams around those waifus. If you like Evelyn, you should pull for Evelyn. And then you should make sure you have enough banked to pull for Lighter on his rerun or pull for Astra on her rerun. And then build so get your waifus and then build teams around your waifus. Should be the advice. Not like, oh yeah, because you have this, then you should do that. No. Don't. You shouldn't do anything. Do what you want, because technically, with the free characters that you have enough value on your account to clear all of the endgame content and then get all of the rewards. You haven't built those characters yet. You haven't built those teams yet. Do you want to build those characters and teams? You don't have to. You can just pull Evelyn and run her with Lighter, and that's one of your teams pretty much done. Just stick Nicole in there. You're fine. I don't know. Like, I think people overthink it and then they don't invest into their teams properly. There was a guy who was on stream with me. He gave me like 20 batteries to spend on his account, and it was my last stream that I did on Thursday, I think. And basically he had all of these characters and he just hadn't invested into them. His Juliangg had no discs and she was level 50. He literally just needed to sit down and be like, right, I'm going to roll some discs for Juliangg. We're going to get them on there, and then we're going to clear this content. And then we did, and it was fine.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. Of like, whoever you do like, you can always put their little demos too, like those little trials up to try them out. But play who you like, and then try and build around that. Is what I would say too, because that ends up being a little bit of a difficult situation if, let's say, someone's favorite character is someone that can't have a team necessarily around them. Like if it's like Ben, you can build a Ben team, but if they want to play like on-field Ben or something like that, then you get into certain scenarios. But mostly just build around that character.
Yeah, you can make it easier or harder depending on what you want to do, for sure. But considering that most people probably want to build around the limited S ranks, because they're the hype, exciting ones. I mean, yeah, you will get the people who want to do DPS Ben, and that's fine. But yeah, I think pull your new favorite limited S rank and then build around that. But if you are building around that, don't just pull random shit. Pull what actually helps that character. Shanaha?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm pretty much the same thing of, I don't want to call it, I mean, it is waifu over meta, but it's like, prioritize the enjoyment. Like, if we come back to like Kitty's example of like, I have Soldier 11, I don't know if I should get Evelyn or not and stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't want to tell somebody, oh, just save all your pulls and just struggle with Soldier 11 instead if they don't like her. Because then it's like, what's the point of playing the game then? Like, you're going to spend like the next month or two playing with Soldier 11, someone you don't like, just for what? So that you can hope to get somebody nicer in 2 months' time. You're probably going to drop the game by then if you're like using teams that you don't enjoy. So rather just go for somebody that you're going to enjoy now, and then coming back to the whole, oh, but there's so many people that I want to pull for. There's going to be reruns. Like, choose one of them, go for that one, and then just get the other one in a couple months from now when they rerun.
Yep, just build around what you get. Anyway, and we keep getting characters for free. I think you get Ben for free in the story. I think you get Sukaku for free when you unlock Shio defense, and we're gonna get Pulchra for free.
As well.
Corrin is like straight away. You get we're gonna get Pulchra for free next patch. And if you started playing before the end of 1.5, which is, you know, we're only a few days away from that, so you might not be by the time you're listening to this. But if you started playing before the end of 1.5, you get Haramasa, who's like 15 to 20% worse than Anby 2 Electric Boogaloo. So he works. He's fine.
Yeah, he will. There'll be comparisons with them, I bet.
So I can pull this up for you. So when the game first came out, actually no, I lied. I made this video 2 days before the game came out because the game came out July 4th of last year, and I made this video July 2nd. I titled it exactly "Who You Like is Bad Advice for Free to Play in Zenless Zone Zero." Here's why. Now I made the title a little bit like spicy for people to click, but as soon as they clicked on the video, you can go back and watch it. It's a 5-minute video if people want to, but I straight up said you should pull who you like, but if you continuously just only pull every single character you like without thinking about synergies, well, then your favorite characters, you might not get their, you know, even like competent teams. Like, fuck best teams. You might not even get competent teams in the future. And that might make your favorite characters feel like shit to play. Right? So it's like, sometimes you might have to take one for the team. And great example, Lighter. By far the least owned limited S rank in the game. Not even close. He's by far the least owned. But if you really want your Soldier 11 to feel the best she possibly can, you might need to take one for the team and get a Lighter. You see what I'm saying? But or at least get a Caesar, or like at least get a Caesar, even if you don't necessarily love her. Like get someone that can build a competent team around her, right?
Yeah.
Like it's okay if you only like 2 out of 3 characters on your team if it makes your favorite on your team feel better to play, right?
Yeah.
So
it's waifu over meta, but yeah, like when you have your one waifu, build a team around her. Like, or you know, one husbando, build a team around him. Like, yeah, you can't just be pulling random shit.
And then ignore the characters that don't build the synergy for who you want to play.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that.
And you can spread yourself a little bit thin at the start as well, because you can be like, oh, I like this DPS. Oh, and I like this DPS. And maybe you pick up like 3 DPSs, but then at that point you have to be like,
what I did.
but then at that point you have to be like, okay, it's time for me to build the teams around these 3 DPSs now.
Yeah, I made that mistake.
And again, like they don't have to be absolute best in slot. They just try to get competent. You know, something that can work. Like it doesn't have to always be fully best in slot.
For example, on the most recent Deadly Assault, I don't have Lighter, so I was running Evelyn against Pompey, but because I wanted to run Astra and Nicole with Juliangg, because that double support is just absolutely goated, I didn't have Astra and Nicole to run with Evelyn. But Evelyn is actually like a stronger DPS overall than Juliangg, so I could kind of get away with not running her with a very good team. So I ran her with Khalida and Lucy, still cleared fine, first time. Didn't like it was like 23k. It wasn't amazing, but it's fine.
Nice.
Just use a team that makes sense, and you can still clear the end game content. It's not that bad.
Use a team that makes sense. There you go.
Makes sense. But that was a sick question, Kate, by the way.
Well, yeah, because I found the question here. So this dude, so like again, like nothing wrong with it. This is his first ever gotcha game, but homie, like he, I'm not gonna call it his name because again, he was asking a genuine question, but he said, with Shingi, Trigger, Sambi, potential Caesar, Bernice, and Yanagi coming back in the future, which one of these characters should I get in their engines? And I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of
Pick a lane, dude.
It's like, wow. It's like, okay. It's like, where do we start here? You know?
Yeah, I could definitely see that, like him that being his first gacha, because yeah, that's definitely something that you're gonna have to just
Did he?
understand how to like maneuver.
Did he say Evelyn as well? Or did I not?
No,
No. I
right, say Evelyn.
why? Yeah, I mean, in his position, if he likes all of those characters equally, there's only two options of those that are available right now, which is Qingyi and Sambi. If he has no other like attack agent for Qingyi to support, it's probably easier to pull Sambi because we're going to get Pulchra for free as well. So then you have Sambi, you have Pulchra, you can just chuck a support in there, and that's one team done.
Yeah. But by the way, this guy's different than the one that was saying he already has Soldier 11 and lighter.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that's what I was trying to tell you. That's why this is why I made this question a topic, because I'm getting asked this stuff a lot recently by multiple people, and I'm trying my best to help them. Like, I'm trying to like make sure that they're getting the characters that they like, but like sometimes I'm getting questions like this. I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of options.
On the plus side, though, it does kind of mean that it's good for Zenless's reach. Like if it's reaching these kind of players who
Yeah.
don't necessarily play gachas, but they they saw a Miyabi trailer, they saw an Astra trailer, and they were like, oh shit, free mobile game, I can play on my PC as well. Oh sure, I'll download it. It's actually kind of sick to see that is happening, and we
I was gonna say
we need
it's
to
kind of sick, but it's also kind of sad because it's like, let's get all these kids involved in gambling. Woo!
yeah, let's ruin their
You
lives.
think they
But
saw?
let's make sure that they don't waste their money by telling them,
Yeah.
like,
By
hey,
giving
just
them
be
good
smart.
advice.
Yeah, if you like all of those characters equally, then think about the character that you could pull where you're going to have a coherent team like immediately. And like, given the situation that you laid out there, Kete, yeah, I mean, he mentioned Yanagi. Yeah, we don't know when Yanagi's coming back, but Sambi is available next patch. Save now, get Sambi, add Pulchra because you get her for free, and then just stick a support with her. Nicole, if you don't have anything else, and that's one team done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you
Yeah.
think they possibly saw the 35 million view Ellen video by any chance?
What's the 35 million view Ellen video? Was that like when the game launched?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like Ellen's character demo.
Uh,
But it was like
yeah.
pushed a lot,
to be fair,
so it was like up there.
as much as Ellen is probably I was gonna
Yeah,
say
maybe
dead in
not.
the water, but then I don't know how that wasn't an intended shark pun. But yeah,
No,
I absolutely love her design. I think she looks so cool. It's such a it's kind of a shame that I probably will never pull her at this point, but I think her design is amazing. She has the best design in the game. I'm very glad that she launched with the game.
yeah, she
Yeah,
definitely
I'll-
had a lot of eyes on her.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't regret getting Ellen, even though probably gonna bench her for Hugo, but I don't regret getting her.
Oh,
The best part is you can walk around with the characters in the overworld. You know, they'll always be good for that.
yeah.
That's what triggers for.
True though.
Okay, lads. Well, it's been real having a chat. Any other things you want to cover before we wrap it up?
No, but thanks Julian for coming on, brother. Make sure you guys go check out Julian. We'll put his all of his socials and stuff in the description or pin comment, one of the two. But yeah, make sure you go check out Julian. He does React content. He streams for ZZZ, and he's a really chill guy. I'm glad we have him on.
Yeah, it was nice
It's
to
nice to be on. Too.
yeah, it was nice to hang out, Julian. Good to get to know you a little bit better. So Julian, yeah, Kete's already mentioned that we'll leave your links down below. But where can people find you? I mean, I've come across your stuff on YouTube. You also on Twitter. Do you do streaming on Twitch? Where can people find you?
That's pretty much it. Mostly just YouTube and Twitch for the most part.
Okay.
And I guess my Discord, but that'll be like in the description in the videos. But
Cool.
yeah, pretty much just YouTube and Twitch.
Cool. Well, yeah, and if anyone's here for the first time, you should like and subscribe for more Losing the 50 content.
True.
And you should also check out Kete and Shanaha. Kete and Shanaha, where can people find you?
Kete, you go first.
Yeah, I did a very bad job of hosting there, but go on, Kat.
Obviously, check me out on YouTube, Cat to the Seventh, Twitter, or X nowadays, Cat to the Seventh. I stream a lot. Got a lot of videos planned for this month, and yeah, I'm just glad we could have made this channel losing the 50 successful like we have. Gonna keep posting and making more podcasts.
Yeah, I think the plan is once every 2 weeks. We did miss one recently, but once every 2 weeks is the plan moving forward. Shanaha, what about you?
To be fair, just hopping on that, I think it was good that we missed last week so that we could have this week now be like in time with the
Yeah, I agree.
1.7 drip marketing. But yeah, for me, Shanaha, you'll probably see me from Zenless Zone Zero News, also on Twitch, and also you can join my Discord server as well if you want to hang out there as well.
Yeah, and I've been Average Luck Gamer, and you can check me out on YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, you should make sure that you're subscribed to Losing the 50. We also you can listen to this podcast on the go on Spotify, and that's it. Say good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
I just wanna
It's
know,
420.
Did you just have a fucking stroke at the end there, gamer? Like